Hello, everybody. Welcome again to the Southern Spotlight Show. We are going to recap the Atlanta Falcons and the Atlanta Braves. But as you guys see, I got Atlanta Falcons jersey on, man. And I know Super Bowl 51, 2083, but we're on a different level now. Like we're on a different page now to where I think, guys, that this is a new football team. This is a new football team. So I just gotta ask you guys, like Falcons fans, how do we feel? Like, how does it feel to watch Sunday football today, knowing that your team is nice? Okay, that your quarterback is not Desmond Ritter or Marcus Mariota or Taylor Heineke. How does it feel, guys? Because all I know is after being at the game, it was one of the best experiences I've ever had. Okay, I think it was the best football game I've ever been to. And I've been to a lot of Tennessee football games. This was something different, guys. All right. And I mean, we had a quarterback that threw 500 yards. I mean, what a weekend, man. Like, what a weekend. In Atlanta, you guys were lit. Like, it was awesome. Me and my girl had a great time at the game. And I mean, video clips of me just going crazy at the game. We'll put it in the show. Like, Atlanta was crazy, guys. And it was just, not only was Atlanta lit, the offensive performance that we had was even more lit, guys. It was crazy. I mean, we're going to get into it, man. But Golden, how are you feeling, bro? Like, how are you feeling to this game, bro?
Yeah, so obviously I feel amazing. That was the Falcons' best game in a very long time. And it's about time that this offense woke up. I said it. I said this offense needed a game where they scored 3-4 touchdowns, and well, this was a perfect game to do it. Kirk Cousins over 500 yards is absolutely ridiculous, and I'm really glad that I made my key matchup Darnell Mooney versus Jamel Dean because Darnell Mooney absolutely popped off. He had 2 touchdowns for 105 yards. So, and I think he's been our best receiver this year. But I think Drake London's really coming into his own. Hold on. I think Drake London's really coming into his own and becoming the wide receiver one that everyone was expecting him to be. 12 receptions, 154 yards, and a touchdown. And he started the game off with a touchdown. And yeah, Drake London's been playing like a true receiver one. And if he continues to play like that, then we have an elite receiver for a very long time on our team. I'm still not impressed with Bijan. I mean, he only got 12 carries for 61 yards. I really want to see
Why are
more.
you hating on Bijan,
I
bro?
don't want to have to hate on Bijan, but he's just not doing as much as he did last year. I mean, we have more weapons now, and a passing quarterback. I mean, 58 attempts and 42 completions is absolutely ridiculous. He's gonna be my player of the game. Is Kirk Cousins easily.
Kirk
Fi-
Chains.
509 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, but that does not matter when you throw for over 500 yards. Kirk Cousins played like an MVP this game. I mean, he played amazing.
I mean, you already got me ready, man. Like Falcons win 36-30 in an overtime fashion. Game winner, Kadell Hodge touchdown. Who would ever thought that? But guys, let's get into this. Atlanta Falcons versus the Bucs. I mean, what a big time win for the Falcons. I mean, we win this. This puts us first in our division, and we got it. But a win, I think this type of win is going to build more confidence for our team going into our next game, going into another game against the Seahawks after the Panthers, because I believe Panthers is a guaranteed win. So this is a confidence builder. And I mean, the offense looked in sync, man. As you mentioned, the offense looked in sync and not as much penalties as we complained about the other week ago. It looked like a way more experienced, more in sync offense that we've been all waiting for, which is kind of crazy because I doubted it. I said Falcons only has 3 days to prepare. I don't think they're going to have a great offense performance. And what do you know? What do you know? I mean, if we look at the stats, man, like you said, Kirk 509 passing yards, as you said, that is absolutely insane. I can't believe I went to a game and witnessed a quarterback do that. I think I just can't believe that. It was so fun to watch. But let's give Bijan a break, man. Let's give Bijan a break because he only had 12 carries. Your quarterback threw 58
Yeah.
times. And he did. Now, when we needed Bijan to make a play in that fourth quarter, he did. He made a huge run, got us set up in the red zone, and then Darnell did rest. He did the rest of the business. But it was such a fun game to watch, man. And like you said, Drake London, 12 catches, 150 yards. Darnell Mooney, man. I mean, 9 catches, 105. This is big stuff. But the key point right here for me, as I mentioned, guys, in the last game, are we going to get our big time receivers involved? And I wasn't mentioning Darnell Mooney. I was mentioning Kyle Pitts, Drake London. Kyle Pitts has finally arrived, y'all. He's finally arrived. And the thing is, it really goes down to just targeting the guy. He's going to come down with catches. And I get it. Kirk and him had to build some chemistry and get some things going. But that's a positive sign for Atlanta, man. How are you feeling about this offense right now? Because I feel like we got something going right now, man.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to do this every week. This is Kirk is more than capable of being a great passer. Obviously, he's been a pretty underrated quarterback for most of his career. But Kyle Pitts, it's the same thing with him. When you actually target him, you see what happens. He had 7 catches for 88 yards. I was expecting a touchdown too, but it's fine because Darnell Mooney took care of that. But yeah, Kyle Pitts, he needs to be unleashed. This was just a preview. He could have even better games than this. But Kirk's got so many options. I mean, look at the way London's playing. I think he's really coming to his own and really becoming a receiver one. Darnell Mooney, I mean, right now he could be a receiver one on other teams, honestly. So yeah, I mean, we gotta take it slow with Kyle Pitts, obviously. This is his year to break out, though. So yeah, I think hopefully this is a trend in the right direction, and he can really start having some big games. Especially if London and Mooney keep popping off, they're going to start covering them more and worrying about them more. So that gives Pitts more opportunity. So I really hope that this is just the start of some great games for him and a great season for him.
Yeah, I checked some stats, and Kirk completed a pass to 7 different wide receivers. That is a huge thing that we needed to see, and a lot of targets to your main receivers, your top 3, and that was Mooney, London, and Kyle Pitts. That's what you need to see. But let's talk defense because, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Being at the game, I was definitely stressing about that first half, how we couldn't stop a nosebleed and we couldn't stop a cold. We couldn't stop anything, guys. It was hard to watch, not going to lie. And I was very confused of why were we first off, our special teams was awful in the first half. I mean, 2 big returns from the Bucs that should never happen in the NFL. And honestly, if you think about it, put our defense in some bad situations, yes. But guys, a lot of big time plays happened for Mike Evans, just wide open. And another matchup that was really confusing was seeing Hamilton Senior or whatever his name is. I don't even know the guy to be even guarding Mike Evans. I was texting everybody like, why is Hamilton guarding Mike Evans right now? What are we doing? Like, he had 2 free touchdowns because of Hamilton was on him. Like, I get it. Mike Evans is a great receiver, and I know AJ Terrell is not. He's not going to shut down Mike Evans. But is he going to get that wide open for a touchdown? I mean, come on, bro. Like, stuff like that just bothered me, bro. And I was like, okay, what adjustments are going to make? Hamilton was still on Mike Evans in the second half. If you go back and look at it, he still was on him. But I mean, they played that bend don't break defense, and the Bucs only scored 6 points in the second half. And that was a huge way. That was a huge part of the reason why the Falcons won. I mean, I know the Falcons offense dominated, but 6 points in the second half, the way to recover like that, I think Falcons, they built some confidence for that defensive side, even with some injuries with linebackers. Nate Lamb didn't play, nor did Troy Anderson, who was defensive player of the week last week. So, I mean, that's a positive sign. And I think we get Lemon back next week. So that's some good stuff for the Falcons defense.
Yeah, well, obviously, we can't expect the Falcons defense to play amazing every game. It's the same thing with the offense. I mean, there's going to be off games and then on games for the offense too. And you're playing against a team whose offense has been amazing this year. Chris Godwin, I believe, is like top 3 in receiving yards. Mike Evans has been scoring touchdowns every single game. And Mike Evans he's probably been the most underrated receiver for like the last 10 years. He really has. And he's just owned the division. So, you can only ask so much when you're guarding a guy like that. Baker Mayfield still did have 180 yards, 3 touchdowns, didn't turn the ball over. So he still had a good game. But our offense if our offense played like this every week, no one would ever beat us. I think it was just a once in a lifetime game here, but hopefully we can, keep it up a little bit. Obviously, you can't expect this every week. Same thing with, like I said, with the defense. It was an off week for them, and we still took the dub because the offense was so amazing. But I'm not too worried with the defense. Like you said, we had very important players out, and we're playing a good offense. So I mean, we got the win. That's all that really matters in the end, in a great fashion. Hodge has scored back-to-back weeks now. So yeah, it was a great game, and I don't expect our defense to play amazing every game. So if the offense does that, I mean, they don't need to.
Exactly. And it's a positive sign for Atlanta to get a dub like this. They got the Panthers coming up, which is, like I said, I believe it's a dub for us, but anything can happen in the NFL. So I'm gonna, especially after what happened in Tennessee and Arkansas, which we'll cover in the next episode. Anything can happen in football, and it's just part of it, man. And it makes it exciting. It makes everything exciting about sports. But before I go into the next segment, I wanted to get on to the Falcons defensive lineman. I know we are definitely, we feel positive about Falcons defense, but I do believe they need to create more pressure. And if they're not going to pick up another defensive end, Hassan Reddick, then, maybe we start mixing some blitzes. But Raheem's defensive scheme is to play back, and he doesn't want to give it any big plays. I mean, look at it. Baker only had 189 passing yards, I believe. 180 yards passing. So, with that being said, it's not a big day for him. But, at the same time, he did have a lot of open passes that he was able to complete, and they had short fields. So imagine if they had a longer field for him to throw. So with that being said, I think that we need to mix in some blitzes. And maybe it's because we didn't have Landman or Troy Anderson, but still, make him uncomfortable because he was just sitting back there, and we're all in the fans just can we get after the guy? If we're gonna play that type of defense, then you need to make a trade right now and get Hassan Reddick. And I would be the first one right now to be like, let's go, because Hassan Reddick and Matthew Judon, oh my goodness. You're talking about a Super Bowl contending team, and I'm not even stuttering. You're looking at a Super Bowl contending team right there. But yeah, I think that's a concern. I think that's a concern.
Our defense is already, and we already have so many amazing pieces on our defense. So if we could get Reddick, yeah, that would just be the cherry on top.
Man, we would be dangerous, man. But yes, guys, Atlanta pulls out the dub. We got the Carolina Panthers coming up this Sunday, I believe 4:25 game Eastern time. So we'll be looking forward to that game. We'll definitely be previewing that coming up this week. But Falcons. They made up for my long weekend, man, because I've had a very long weekend in some games. My team's has just been taking some rough losses, and it starts with the Atlanta Braves. I mean, I didn't expect us to win this series at all. We didn't expect them to win this series, but I truly did. I believe that they were going to get one win. You said they were going to get swept. You did say that, but I just believed because I was like, oh, this is going back to the A. Unfortunately, it didn't, guys. Braves got swept. But I thought a key sign for the Braves was Michael Harris. We talked about it all season. Michael Harris has been good, but he tried to save us. He tried to save us in that game, and I was like, oh yeah, we're definitely going to Atlanta. One more game, but it's unfortunate how it went out. Max Fried got a little knocked. He got, they got him a little bit in that game. And the thing is, what if we had Chris Sale game one? Right. And what if we had Chris Sale game one? It's just the injuries I know it sounds like an excuse, but it's been terrible. It was terrible for the Braves all season. It was just the most unlucky season for the Braves. But I mean, outside of the Braves, getting healthy for next year, what do you think is something that they can do to contend for a championship next year? Because I mean, if we're healthy, we can honestly say that, but
It's
maybe
as
we're
simple
missing
as
it.
that. It's as simple as that. They're a top 3 team if they're healthy. Genuinely, the talent they have on the team is ridiculous. I think pitching's been the only thing that's been an issue for us ever because we've always had a great offense. I mean, we even won without Acuna that year. So our offensive weapons We have a ton of those. I think just the pitching is the only thing, and we have Sale and Fried, and if they're healthy, I really think it's just a matter of being healthy with this team. Really,
I definitely think we need to get one more pitcher though,
yeah,
because Sale, for sure, he's aging. I know he had probably one of his best, years out of his whole entire career, I believe. So, which is kind of crazy to say
he bad. He got the triple crown in pitching.
at the age that he is at to play like that. I think that's very impressive. It was giving like Verlander type of vibes. But I still think with that age, anything can happen. Could get hurt. But if we stuck with the four that we had right there, I know a fifth one really doesn't matter, but you stick with Sale, Strider, Lopez and Fried. That's a good solid four. But I say play safe, get another pitcher. I mean, your at bats. Come on, man. You got a lot of at bats. Like we're stacked there. As long as we're healthy, we're gonna score on you. But truthfully, I believe that we need to get one more pitcher. But guys, if you're a Braves fan, do not hang your head over a season like that because let's be real. If we're healthy, we're in a situation where the Padres are right now. And I believe we would have knocked the Padres out. And I think we honestly are maybe we probably are better. We would be better than the Dodgers. I'm not even I know Otani he's a stud, but the Braves have been playing good against the Dodgers the past couple years. And besides that stretch where they owned us in the playoffs, we know. But I feel healthy Braves would have knocked the Dodgers out. So, it's an if, it's a would have, it's a could have,
Bro,
but
Otani
whatever.
is so good that they show his graphic on the screen when he's 3 batters away. It's ridiculous. But yeah, no, I mean we lost to a great Padres team. They just put up 10 runs tonight on the Dodgers. They won 10-1. Tatis had 2 homers.
He's a stud.
Higashioka hit a homer. Merrill hit a homer. Bogarts hit a homer. Literally everybody homered on that team tonight. So honestly, I could see them beating the Dodgers. I really could. It's 1-1. We lost to one of the better teams in the MLB. We got destroyed by Michael King that first game. And then we just got shelled in that second inning. Fried gave up 5 runs in one, and that was all they scored. Those 5 runs in that one inning. That's it.
That was it.
We might have had a chance, really, if he didn't get banged up and then give up all those hits. But yeah, we tried to come back. Michael Harris, Soler hit a homer. 2 guys that really played a big factor in the end of the season, getting us to the playoffs. So good on them for trying to keep us in it. But it came down to the pitching. It did come down to the pitching in that game. And, we can't hang our heads, like you said, because the Padres, I think, have a chance to go to the World Series. Where I could see them beat the Dodgers this series. I really could.
Exactly. But, Golden said he couldn't have said it any better. You guys in the comments, let us know what you think about the Falcons' performance, number one. We want to hear what you guys think. Are the Falcons Super Bowl contenders now? Or are they just a one-game wonder? I want to know. Golden wants to know. And we will definitely preview that Panthers and Falcons game as well. But also let us know what you think about the Braves' upcoming season as it went to an end. And what do you think? Do you think the Braves would be in a better situation than the Padres right now? Let us know what you think in the comment section. And you guys will see you on the next one.
See ya.